Hey everyone, it is Jay Soloff at Investors Alley, and this is our options trade of the week. So we're starting here in Market Chameleon, marketchameleon.com, checking out the unusual options page. And what I have done here is sorted today's option activity by volume, and you can see some massive amount of activity in Apple and Tesla. It is expiration today for August, so that's part of it, but of course both of these stocks are splitting, which is going to potentially increase the activity, at least in the short term. Some other big tech names up here: Baba, Nvidia, Intel, and just a lot of familiar names recently. Kodak has been in the news. So here's one. This is a new company, Rocket Companies. Not a new company, but a newly listed company. That's IPO happened about a week ago. And Rocket Companies, if you're not familiar, they own Quicken Loans and Rocket Mortgages, so big in the retail mortgage crowd. Quite a bit of volume for the first week of trading, over 121,000 options. Certainly not bad for a new company. Looks like a lot of calls, a lot of most likely bullish activity, almost 90% call activity, which generally is considered bullish. The stock was up about 9% today. But you would imagine that there would be some volatility in the short term for a new company, particularly one in a hot industry like retail mortgages are right now. And you can see actually implied volatility is 110%, which is generally considered a high number, although you have to look at it in relation to what it's done in the past. But with Rocket Companies, it's only been around for a week, so not much history to look at. If we do go to the trades, we can kind of see what may be going on there in terms of the actual trades happening. Probably a lot of small stuff to start since it's new. Usually you don't get too many institutional investors in until there is a more established market. Although this top trade here was about $1 million notional trade, 3,600. Quantity looks like September expiration, selling the bid most likely. So it looks like the calls were sold at $2.75 at the 27 strike, with the stock a little over 26. So you look at something like this and you're like, well, you're selling just about at the money calls. That's pretty bearish, and it might be. It might be a pure bet that calls are too expensive, and Rocket is not going to continue going this much higher through September expiration. However, this also could be potentially part of maybe a covered call type trade where someone is already long, they already own the stock, and now they're sort of hedging that with calls. If the stock continues going up, they're capped at 27 in terms of upside potential, but they're making this $1 million on their shares worth a premium. This is more of a bet that maybe the volatility of the calls is too high. So it could be the second half of a covered call type trade. It could be just a straight bearish trade. It could be more of a volatility type play. So, but interesting to see that is the biggest trade here, and probably not done by a mom and pop investor, since that's about $1 million. And of course, short calls on their own are extremely risky, which is why, even if this is institutional, very much is probably hedged with the shares. So if we look at Rocket, you can see it's only traded for a little over a week. Here it looks like maybe 2 weeks. Not a lot of activity. Actually, based on volatility here, it may even just be about a week. So not a lot of action. Looking at the options, you could do, there was a bunch of volume today in September. Some decent open interest, but massive volume today, probably because of the 9% up move. You can see that 27 call here traded almost 13,000 times. There was only 2,500 open interest, so a lot of opening trades. If you're bearish on Rocket, then selling a call is not the way to go. It's too risky. Instead, you should be looking at maybe a put spread. However, this might be a decent cover call opportunity if you're bullish. If you're moderately bullish on it, you could sell something, in the 30s or the 30 call or something like that and buy the shares. Might not be a bad way to go. But if you're bearish, puts are much safer than trying to sell calls. So, of course, it depends on what your goals are. But that's the sort of stuff that we talk about pretty regularly, and we will do option purchases in my Options Floor Trader Pro service. So we might look at a trade like buying a put in Rocket or something like that in Options Floor Trader Pro. So check that out if you get the chance.